That's how far the theory is going. Unfortunately, this never really happens. I see pure brownfield migrations critical for two reasons. The one reason is the, let's say, more practical reason is that a typical brownfield conversion, for example, in the book would mean that you basically do the IT topic first and then the optimization later. So basically you have the first part of the project running, you have a go live, and then from the go live on, you basically unpack the package again, and then you do basically the optimization, like cleaning the core and putting all the innovational stuff in it, adding the modern GUIs and so on and so on. That's how far the theory is going. Unfortunately, this never really happens. Yeah, but you treat it like a greenfield project where you have the go live and then it's finished and you basically start working with it. So the kind of crucial innovation phase or the optimization phase, however you may call it, so where you really start digging into the topic never happens. Yeah, because in many cases either it's not planned or it's not really communicated, or after the migration you lost your business because the business really says like this is just about testing and looking at old processes, but not really about innovation. So basically they are then taking care of the day-to-day business again, which in the end means that I paid a lot of money, had a lot of effort, but it did not really change anything. And this is the first part. The second part is the topic migration itself. What does migration mean? Migration means like taking legacy processes or the way I work and transport it onto a new technical platform, which may not be wrong in many cases, or at least for many of the processes, but for some part of it, it's definitely a waste because especially in the differentiating process where you basically where you are where it counts, where basically the customer decides does it buy from you or from somebody else. There you should go into it full on with trying to put new processes, new technology into it. I always say like legacy processes are nothing else than the strategy of 15 years ago implemented with the technology of 15 years ago. So both of it is not relevant anymore. And just by triggering a little bit technology into it, into let's say legacy working methods is what, from my precision, is if you like to take that image, is that here. Yeah, where actually proceeding like that was already done, because that's exactly what's happening. They when doing or when designing this kind of a device, they basically just took the way like we have been working in the 0 years with mobile phones and then adding technology onto it. And basically it was not a success, how you probably may agree with me. So that's what I'm convinced of, that when you approach this topic, you really should approach it from the forward. You should look forward. You should approach it from the strategies and then fully focus on capabilities, and do not see a brownfield migration as the only option. Last sentence to it, it does not mean that I'm completely against the brownfield. A brownfield is a very useful thing in many cases, but if you do, or if you walk the walk, if you go really 100% until the end,
Right.
and that means that you do not stop after the go live, but you are aware that the technical part is just a phase of the project and not the project itself.
Absolutely. I mean, if I can share from my personal experience, when I did a timeline on my very first SAP ERP project, somewhere really in the first third was go live. And I immediately got a shitstorm. And says, no, go live is more towards the end, and maybe you have a stabilization phase or something like that. I says, no, for me, go live is really at the very, very first third. And then all the other things start.
Absolutely.
But how, in your experience, do you deal with the bandwidth of people's motivation and energy? Because even migration can be already a quite stressful thing. And I often hear also customers say, like, I need to do this lift and shift due to whatever reasons, and then I only can do the improvements. are there any ways on how we can actually reduce the anxiety or give them some value or show them that it's actually not really one or the other, but they do belong together in certain aspects, of course, with different roles with different people at different times, but you can still do it in the timeline in parallel. Do you have any tricks or tips here?
You beautifully segued into the ugly part, into the treat it not as an IT topic, or treat it as an IT topic to make a lot of things wrong, because that's basically where you open up the Pandora's box of many issues that may come upon you. If there is one single best practice that I would bring up to avoid what you mentioned, is definitely, I would call it